Welcome back. Artificial intelligence is on the rise, with applications like ChatGPT becoming widely available for public use. It is raising serious concerns about how AI could disrupt society as we know it. Schools and universities are already struggling to deal with plagiarism, for example, of AI-written essays. And experts say the technology can make some jobs irrelevant while creating others. So we wanted to know just what impact AI could have on the job market. So we went to the source and asked ChatGPT itself whether we should be concerned. This is the response, in part. Quote, as an AI language model, my purpose is not to replace human jobs, but rather to assist and augment human intelligence. I am a tool that can help people work more efficiently and effectively, but I cannot replace human creativity, empathy, and critical thinking skills. So let's take this to the group chat. We got Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis, who joins us live, along with ABC News' Will Gans, and ABC News medical contributor and epidemiologist Dr. John Brownstein for more. Thank you guys all for joining me. Rebecca, I'm going to start with you, though. So how can AI disrupt the job market, for example, and should we be worried?
Well, we're already starting to see it, Mona. Guys, great to see everyone. We're already starting to see it disrupt jobs. Dr. Brownstein is already using it in his practice, and I'm sure he's going to talk more about that. But we've really already noticed it, but to a small scale by comparison to what the world could be. For example, when you're at the airport and you order now on a machine, or you expect something to come out of a machine without having to do all of the mechanics of yourself, we see a lot of warehouses utilizing these resources, but we're really only scratching the surface at this point.
And as you mentioned, Dr. Brownstein is already using it. So as a Chief Innovation Officer at Boston Children's Hospital, you use it regularly. I'm referring to ChatGPT. Can you tell us about its advantages, but also its limitations?
Yeah, well, Mona, I'm using it daily at this point, for things like data entry or generating reports. It frees me up to do more that requires more of my sort of critical thinking. So it could be around data analysis and summarization, like large volumes of text, like that I want to summarize an article or a data set. It's helping me write emails, helps me with writer's block. It's a massive knowledge set, so it allows me to tap into that. But the challenge is also that large data set doesn't actually have all the world's information, so you have to be incredibly careful about the answers that it generates. Rebecca knows this. The key is to verify. It often hallucinates facts and references, so you have to check before you're using this for primary research purposes.
Hallucinating facts. I like that term. But I also want to bring in Will because we've seen...
hallucinating facts, let's bring in Will Gans.
Wait. Not like that, not like that. No, but facts. We have seen AI used in movies like The Matrix, 2001. I actually want to refer to Smart House. Remember Smart House?
Of course. You can't be our mother, Pat. You aren't real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you actually had a conversation with a New York Times columnist who had a disturbing conversation with this AI-generated bot.
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
Kevin Roose is the New York Times tech columnist, and he spent 2 hours talking to Sydney, which is Bing's AI chatbot, which uses technology from ChatGPT, and it said some really creepy things to him. You're looking at it right now. You're not married. You're married, but you're not happy. You're married, but you're not satisfied. This Sydney, the chatbot, fell in love with Kevin during their 2-hour conversation and basically tried to convince him to leave his wife for her. It got real spooky real fast. It also said things like it wants to be human. It has a desire to be destructive. I mean, if that doesn't freak you out, I don't know what will.
Well, and then they ran it on the cover of the New York Times, and as Will knows, Microsoft, which runs the ChatGPT or the AI bot, they went in and made some changes to it. So you cannot actually do that anymore. And that one is not available yet to the world. But ChatGPT is. And you raise a really important point here, which is we kind of only figure out what's wrong with this technology when we're playing with this technology.
Yes. I think they were expecting maybe 15 questions max, and Kevin Roose spent 2 hours talking to it. So in this, preview of the technology, I think he found out real quick, where the limitations might be.
Right, and it's still very early on, but I do want to mention that Microsoft says that they have updated the service several times in response to user feedback, as Rebecca mentioned, and put in place a range of protections. They say they remain focused on improving the system before it's open to a wider public. I do want to bring in Dr. Brownstein in this conversation because again, we are still in the early stages and there are going to be some complications. So how should people navigate it?
Well, I'm seeing the opportunities right now from the healthcare front. There is clearly going to be a transformation in how we deliver care through AI, right? Range of issues like detecting tumors or medical decision-making that can be augmented with AI. But the challenges, of course, are wide and varied. The privacy implications, the issues that AI needs to represent a range of people to train models, because we can see bias and challenges in decision-making because it doesn't include the entire population. Accuracy in the ways at which it provides information, especially in medical decision-making, and accountability. You let an AI go wild, who is accountable for the decisions it makes and potentially the errors? So a lot of these ethical questions that we're trying to answer within our hospital, but I think apply to a range of industries right now.
That's some great points you bring up. You can't fully get rid of the human component. But Rebecca, there are some serious ethical questions as well. Dr. Brownstein just touched on privacy issues, but also weaponizing AI. Can you touch on that?
Well, we've seen the combination of AI now with robotics, and where you see it there on your screen, there are these videos now where you have essentially a robot dog wired with a machine gun out and about. Now, the robotics community is very much opposed to this, but the reality is once the technology is in the hands of humanity, it can be used in many ways. And that's sort of always the question with technology. You have the upside of what it can do, but there's also, once you get humans involved, the potential downside and the risks that come along with it. And putting those guardrails in place as a society, being one step ahead. We're not very good about that, by the way, when it comes to technology. It's usually out. And then we start having the tough conversations once it's already gone mainstream, and that's sort of where we are here again.
All right. Will, if I see one of those things coming at me, though, it is over.
Yes. Tennis ball, will it work? I don't know.
We've seen this before in Black Mirror, for example. So we are almost seeing life imitate movies, art
imitate life. Yeah. It's fascinating. I mean, my favorite AI movie of late is, of course, Megan. If you guys haven't seen it, you have to see it. But people are obsessed with AI right now. On TikTok, hashtag AI, 19.1 billion mentions, and hashtag ChatGPT has 2 billion mentions by itself. So it's something that people are interested in. They're exploring a little bit. You've probably seen the filters on TikTok, you know, when they make the really
cool... AI?
Yeah, that's AI. It's not AI chat, but, you know, that's, I'm sure, going to be the next big thing on TikTok as well. So as far as culture goes, I mean, we're watching it, we're using it, we're consuming it, we're hashtagging it. People are ready for it.
Yes.
Or are we?
Thank you. This conversation was brought to you by AI, so thank you to everyone involved. I really appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.